The following is a paid program, and the views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WJZ-FM, Odyssey, its sponsors, or affiliates.
The following is a pre-recorded show. Welcome to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers, certified financial planner professional and founder of Akers Financial Group. Now, helping you win in your retirement, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome to Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers. Today is May 29th, and we welcome you to our show. I have with me today certified financial planner practitioner Alex Monk, who works with me at Akers Financial Group. He's been in the industry and with Akers Financial Group for 9 years now. Alex, good morning. How are you doing today?
Oh, Brian, I'm great, man. You know, I heard you mention it was May 29th.
Absolutely.
That's a strange date, isn't it?
It really is. What kind of day is it for you?
You know, it's a 529 day, Brian.
That's exactly right. It's 529 day. 529 is a great day and a great way to save money for your college education. So happy 29th, or better known as 529 day. Today we'll have the talk about what to do for yourself, kids, or grandkids when it comes to college, trade school, or even private school. The basics of 529 plans, how they work, that's what this show is going to be all about. Alex, have you warmed up all of your knowledge of 529 plans?
You know, this day makes me a little angry, Brian, because, you have all this experience in this industry, and all that experience has also given you enough time to get your kids out of college. And I am not in that position yet.
Absolutely. I celebrate 529 Day because I don't have to worry about it right now because both my kids are out of college. I suppose a wonderful way of saving money. So I would be a great supporter of 529s. And what I mean by that is it's a way to save for college so that you're throwing money forward to that day when your kid makes the choice of what to do. Now, 529 is known as a college plan, but it's much, much more than that. Right, Alex?
Oh, man. So I recently have been dealing with some college expenses of my own, and I've done a ton of research into these 529 plans, and a lot of things have changed recently that I don't think people are quite yet aware of. Mainly, they're not just for college anymore, Brian, and I think that's going to be a big deal.
Absolutely.
So now you can use them. Go ahead.
I was just saying, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we can use them for trade school now. College, we can use them for tuition expenses at eligible private schools. It's not just for your tuition. It can be for books. It can be for fees or necessary enrollment charges. So the scope of these 529 plans has really been broadened.
And what people need to do is figure out how they're going to use it and set aside some money to future goals. Now, this doesn't mean kids have to go to college. I think one of the best things to realize is that trade school, let's say you have to go to a school for 18 months to learn how to be a tech in some medical industry, or if you want to go to some type of cybersecurity school, all of this can be done through saving, and that savings can build up tax-free and come out for these purposes. There's also, over the years, they've actually taken away the limitation on age. Years ago, you used to have to get it all out by the age of 30. Now you have to look at the plan you're in and see what the rules are to make sure you know when you need to take the money out, or can it stay in there for a lifetime. So when you see a 529 plan, Alex, it's good for kids, grandkids, and any relative. Can you try to explain how we own it and how we can actually give it from one kid to another and some basic things like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So with a plan, there's always going to be an owner, which is going to be the person that kind of controls the account or the one that opened it. And then there's going to be a beneficiary. And that's typically whoever you're saving for college, right? So let's say you're a grandparent and you're like, oh my gosh, they were talking about saving money for college. You can open an account for your grandkid, even if, let's say, the parents already have a 529 plan. So in that kind of respect, they're a little bit different because you can have multiple accounts with the same beneficiary with different owners. And that's kind of a unique thing on 529s. And some of the other basics, Brian, is every state has their own 529 plan provider. But just because you're not that state's provider per se doesn't mean your 529 funds are no good in that state. So there's a lot of different moving parts. And then you mentioned that they can be transferred to different family members. So one of the tricks is if you use an older family member as the owner, they're typically related to everybody in your family. So if you need to transfer the money in between beneficiaries, there's many ways to do it. The key is they have to be related.
Absolutely. All right. So today we're talking about 529 plans and their role in helping people save for college, trade school, tech school, or maybe even a private school for kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. Now, it used to be more of a post-secondary way of saving money, but what we're actually talking about here is a 529. So yes, it is May 29th, and a 529 plan matters when it comes to saving money and letting it grow tax-free for these events in our future. So the money goes in after tax and can grow tax-free until you need to take it out. So we think it's a great way to set aside some money for colleges.
Right, and it's also given some money purpose. I mean, I don't know if anyone out there has checked recently, but college is not cheap, and neither is private school. So if that's something that, you want for your family member or whoever it may be, you got to start saving, because I don't know many people that are just willing to write checks whenever you ask them for $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 a year for someone's education. I mean, those are big numbers, and you really need to plan ahead. And these vehicles let you do that and let you take advantage of some of that tax avoidance, I guess we'll call it.
Now, some people say, well, my child was just born, and I could put it into a savings account. I could put it into something called like a UTMA or a 529. What are the differences in that kind of decision?
Well, the savings account is going to be fairly limited on what you can do, right? You're going to earn 0.01, 0.02 if you're lucky. And all that interest is going to be taxable. And, it's kind of like a CD. It's constantly depreciating. It's never going to grow, which is fine. If that's the way you want to save money, go for it, as long as you're saving. The UTMA, that's a little bit different. I don't like that word, UTMA. You know that one better than me, Brian. They're a little bit before my time.
Well, they're still going on now. They used to be called UGMAs, and then they became UTMAs. UGMA was a uniform gift to minors. Then the UTMA became a uniform transfer to minors. And what happened is this. This is a way to open an investment account, save the money where you have a custodian, and then you have the child, and it'd be taxable to the child's tax ID. And so typically in the first $600-$700 of investment income a year, there'd be no tax at all. And so people could save it in there, and under the UTMA, when they become 21 years old, it becomes their account. That child can come into an investment firm and say, here's my driver's license, birth certificate, and sign some forms, and that account's theirs. It's a completed gift at that time. Sometimes kids don't come in for a long time, or parents or grandparents forget to notify them that they have an account. So there are some interesting pieces about UTMAs. But a lot of times people want to do them because they say, I don't know when this child is 2 weeks old that they're going to go to college, and I don't want to pay penalties or anything else when it comes to taking money out. So can you explain what if someone doesn't need the money for college or any school, and they want to pull the money out? What are the penalties that are involved?
All right, so absolutely, Brian. When you get something, there's always a take, right? A give and a take. So if the money's used for non-qualified expenses, which are non-educational related expenses, there's a 10% penalty on the withdrawal, and then there's tax on the earnings. So all those accounts where you could have been investing and paying tax, you don't avoid that. You do have the 10% penalty, though, because of that compounded deferral of taxation. I think is the reason why they do it.
Right. So in a 529 plan, someone is saving money, and then let's say they're entering high school or toward the end of high school, they get a job, a career where they have great pay right out. And that is happening many places in the trade world right now. There's some great pay for carpenters, electricians, and many other people without going to school. Now, later on, they go to journeyman school, apprentice school, all things like that. And some employers are actually paying for that. There might not be a need for the college or other expenses. There might be the idea you start at a community college and you might qualify where that's free. And then that saves you 2 years of school. So you only have to pay for 2 years of a further education. So as you build your education budget, there's all kinds of things to think about. But this 529 is a way to save and set aside money to build this up over time. Now, Alex, May 29th today, and we're talking about 529 and saving into it. How much does someone need to be able to set up a 529 account?
Well, I think you can start it with like $100, maybe just 50.
Absolutely. So we don't have to have a lot to be able to start setting money aside. One of the best things to do is you need to think about and talk to your kids about how are you going to help them reach their goals in life. Let's build their goals, build their dreams, and let's find a way to help fund it. So one thought I have for you is this. Talk to your kids as they're younger about what they could do, and how you're going to set aside some money for that future. And that money, as it grows, say, look, hey, I got some money saved for you. You're going to have to pay a half-year college or a third-year college. And maybe the parent will cover the other half. Or maybe you might say, college is up to you. I'm going to set aside some money. And whatever's there you can have, but the rest you got to pay. The best way to pay for school is for you to do very well 9th through 12th grade and get a full scholarship for academics, or provide through going to the military to be able to get the military to be able to pay for college that way. There's all kinds of options for education, but one of the things we need to do as a family is think about it and talk to your kids about it. What do you think about that, Alex?
I mean, I knew that I had a Maryland savings plan for college from as long as I can remember, because my parents were like, guess what, buddy? You're going to college.
Expectations sometimes make things happen, and I think it's a good idea.
Absolutely.
And one of the things you got to think about is that this all comes together in winning in retirement. We have many, many goals in our life. And the idea is that when we're retired, we don't want to be paying for our kids' college education that we borrowed against our house, or set aside money in ways that we are going to be spending a lot of years paying it off after they're said and done their schooling. What we want you to be able to do when you retire is to be able to just worry about where you're going to get your morning cup of coffee, where life is stress-free, where every day is like a Saturday. Give us a call at Akers Financial Group so we can build a retirement plan for you. You give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you on Monday to schedule a virtual meeting or an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning now for college or retirement. Give us a call at 833-946-7384 or visit us at AkersFinancialGroup.com. Are you missing out by not using the Maryland 529 plan? We will talk about this in the second quarter of our show. Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at AkersFinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
Imagine you're retired. You wake up in the morning and you don't even know what day it is. Every day seems like a Saturday. You can sleep in, cook a nice full breakfast without thinking about morning traffic or work deadlines. The Saturday calmness you used to crave is now your everyday feeling. You're not worried about your retirement income or how your investments are doing. Your biggest decision that day is where you're going to drink that first cup of coffee. Is that the kind of retirement you want? If it is, then sit down and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They want to help you get there. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Welcome back. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and here with me today is Alex Monk. Today is a great day. It's 529 Day. 529 is a great day and a great way to save money for your college education, trade school, or even private school. Today, we have brought Alex Monk in. He works along with me at Akers Financial Group. We're both certified financial planner practitioner. And what we're doing is in this second segment, our second quarter, we're talking about this topic. Are you missing out by not using the Maryland 529 plan? Alex?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Brian, that's one of my favorite accounts. I have a wife in college, and I'll tell you what, if you use the plans that Maryland puts out there the right way, there's a lot of advantages. And the first one is up to $2,500 that you put into it comes off your Maryland state tax return. Oh, and if you apply for the state matching contribution by the 31st of May every year, they might even give you free money.
What did you just say?
Yeah, I said that. I said the state might give you free money.
All right, so there's two important factors you just said in the second part of that. Is you said that the state has a contribution that they will put into your child's 529 plan if you put money in by May 31st. When's May 31st, Alex?
Oh, it's coming up hot. I think we got 2 days.
It's on Monday, so you can go to a website. That website is Maryland, Maryland 529.com. Maryland529.com is a T. Rowe Price website where they are the sponsor for this plan. Now, this plan is a no-load version through T. Rowe Price. As advisors, we like to advise people to look in this plan. We don't get paid on it, but we think it's a great way for our clients to save since they've made some changes since it first came out. It's made it better and better.
You know, and I hate to say this on air, but T. Rowe Price will take care of you too, just for the 529 plans. But it's a great way to save.
Yeah, the 529 plan is an excellent plan for Maryland residents. Maryland residents, off their Maryland tax return, they can take $2,500 per kid, also per parent. Isn't that correct, Alex?
Yep. So let's say your grandparents, husband and wife, and you got 2 grandkids. Well, you can each have one account for each grandkid. You can each make that $2,500 contribution. And guess what, Brian? That matching state money, if you qualify for income, it can happen for 2 different accounts.
Right. So that qualification for income phases out as you make about $175,000. It phases to where it can match up to $500, and then it goes down as you make more and more money on your tax return.
Right. So that's your Maryland taxable income. But you know what? If you don't know where your income's going to fall, if you think your taxable income's going to be somewhere near it, it's worth the shot. It's worth a try.
That means you add money by May 31st each year, and you might get some extra matching, which is really nice. So the idea here is this: Maryland 529 plan, that the Maryland529.com, you'll open that website up, and then you'll see that there's actually 2 plans in Maryland. Those 2 plans, one is called a prepaid plan, and the other one is called a college investment plan. So we're going to be talking mainly about the second one, the college investment plan. We can talk a little bit about the prepaid plan, but we want to spend a lot more time on the college investment plan. Give us a rundown, the difference between prepaid and the college investment plan, Alex.
All right, so the prepaid is, it's kind of a set thing where the state of Maryland says if you pay X number of dollars by X number of years for your child, we will guarantee or we will cover 4 years of in-state tuition at a Maryland institution. So that's the plan that me and my half-brother had, and he decided to go out of state.
And what happened to that money?
Well, they used some of the money. The plan still paid his in-state tuition rates at that university, but then he had to go and get debt for the rest of it because they don't cover it all.
Yeah, so the prepaid plan is actually locking in a price with the state of Maryland. Now, the state of Maryland also controls the price of the education when you talk about college costs throughout the state of Maryland. And so there's a little bit that goes on where there's been times where if you put money into a 529 prepaid plan, if you cashed out to go to an out-of-state school, that you might not get all your money back. And that was because of some changing of things about 6-7 years ago was one of the years that I saw that. So prepaid is a way to have everything guaranteed. You also lock in the inflation rate because there is an inflation fear when it comes to colleges. What happens is we generally use 6% cost of college to grow, and that's what we got to make sure we're planning around that. Now, I personally believe that a college education, trade school, and everything else, I believe it's going to keep changing how it's delivered over the next decade. What I mean by that is this. Have you ever done an online class? You know, almost every kid has now. Online college will get easier and easier. You're going to shop your prices. You're going to shop the idea of going away for 4 years versus maybe only 2 years. And there's going to be ways to build hybrid college experiences which will help you save money instead of spending $200,000 to $400,000 on university education. You can actually bring that cost way down through shopping, through scholarships, through planning ahead. So 529 plans, we're talking through the Maryland529.com website. There's two options. One is a prepaid, and the other one is a college investment plan. Alex, can you cover that a little bit?
Absolutely, Brian. So the investment plan is the one that I typically prefer and recommend for people because it gives you a lot of flexibility. And it's your decision how to invest the money. So in those plans, there's some different options. You have static portfolios, which are just, straight asset class. You pick equity or international equity, something like that. Or you can use an age-based where T. Rowe Price will actually scale the quote-unquote risk down as the child gets closer to college age. But also in the 529 plan, there's no set contribution that you have to make. There's no limit. It doesn't tell you what college will cost in the future. It's up to you to make the savings. And I like that because life is different for everybody. Not everyone can max out every savings plan, and this gives you the option to at least start saving a little bit and make it part of your budget and actually have some of your family members give to these plans.
All right, so this kind of plan counts for annual gift limits such as $15,000, right, Alex?
Oh, I knew you were going to bring that up, didn't I?
I had to bring it up.
It absolutely does, Brian. But because it's a 529 plan, they do give you the option to front load 5 years worth of gifts.
So you can do 5 years, so 5 times $15,000 per person.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's $75,000.
Yeah, so if you have a 1 or 2 year old, $75,000 might pay off for college if you show the growth over time. You might be done.
Oh,
so write
absolutely.
a check. Write a check and done, get it over with. It's not a bad thought. We actually had people we know that have done that. So at the Maryland 529 plan, under college investments, under the website, you pick investment options. You'll see enrollment-based category, and then you'll see where you can pick a year when they're going to school. And what you'll find is that it goes from it has stocks and bonds in this age-based portfolio. It's extremely diversified. And then over time, it changes from stocks to more and more bonds as you get closer and closer to college. If you've heard our show before, you'll find that we're not a fan of target date plans. This has sort of been a retirement plan, a one bucket fits everybody at that age. Same thing happening here. We rather you look at the fixed portfolio investment options that they have. Inside of there, they have equity portfolios, enhanced portfolio. It's a mix of portfolio. You don't get to pick the actual investment. All the way to the right, you'll see a money market. So there are some neat strategies, and later on in the show, we're going to cover some strategies for you to use 529 plans, take that tax deduction, and be able to use that money for many things, like private school, like college or trade or any other school that their kids are going to. So when it comes to this Maryland 529 plan, people can go online and set it up, and they can put their money into there. They have to set up an owner and a successor owner. And can you explain what a successor owner, what they get?
All right, so the successor owner is like the beneficiary on your account for the owner only, not for who gets the money for school. So if you are the owner and you're the husband and your wife's not the beneficiary, she's just your wife, then you can throw her on there as a successor owner. And if you get hit by a bus, the account's owned by your wife, beneficiary stays the same, you're good to go, minus the whole bus incident.
Not too good to go, but it makes the paperwork easy on it. I'm sorry. But when it comes to the 529 plan, when you're thinking about putting some money aside, we highly recommend a process called dollar cost averaging. Dollar cost averaging is where you say, I'm going to put $100 a month towards this, or $200 a month. You set up a plan, and then in the birthday party invites, what you do is this. You put, the kids love toys, but they will love a college education. You can make your check payable to Maryland 529, whatever amount, and then when they have the birthday, you collect some checks, throw it in their college fund, and then there's more and more money for them down the road.
Yep, T. Rowe Price will actually give you a link to your account if you want to email it to family and friends so that they can put the money right in there. They'll print you gifting slips. They got it all covered so you can get all that toy money into college.
All right, so we recommend you go to Maryland529.com to check that out. We also have a Maryland 529 webinar that we did at AkersFinancialGroup.com that you can check out. We did that just a couple weeks ago. We had it go live on May 27th, and now it's on our website for you to check out there. What we're going to be doing is recommending that you really think about your family's plan. Now, at Akers Financial Group, we're local, we're independent. We don't report to a big company on Wall Street. We report to you, the client. We do have offices in Forest Hill and Lutherville, and we meet with clients all throughout Maryland and through many, many states in the country. We recommend this. Give us a call. Let's have that free talk, that time to get to know each other, to see how we can help. Give us a call at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, you can leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone meeting, virtual Zoom, or an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for your retirement now. Call 833-946-7384 or visit us at AkersFinancialGroup.com. Did you know you can shop around for a 529 plan that fits your family best? We will explain in the second half.
Long before 18-year-old Brooks Robinson was signed to play third base, and years before Natty Boh began brewing at the corner of Conkling and O'Donnell Streets, Baltimore families relied on the Evans family and the Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services to help them during some of their most important family moments. Hi, I'm Charlie Evans, and for 4 generations, my family and I have been there for families, providing care and compassion in their time of need. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services provides the best facility, staff, and personalized service for your family. We have 3 convenient locations to serve the community: Parkville, Forest Hill, and Hereford. For more information, visit us online at evansfuneralchapel.com or call 410-665-9444. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services, serving Baltimore families since 1865. I invite your confidence.
Are there times in some games you wish you could just turn on the TV at the 2-minute warning? Because that's the most important part of the game, right? When it comes to your retirement, don't wait until the 2-minute warning. Sometimes, so much happens right before you retire. Don't wait until your retirement 2-minute warning. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, near or already in retirement, there's still time to put a plan in place to make changes. Don't wait until the last 2 minutes and say, okay, what do I do now? Can you win the retirement game like that? Come in and talk with the team at Akers Financial Group. They've been helping families in Maryland plan for retirement for over 30 years. Call to schedule your complimentary meeting at 833-WIN-RETIRE. The number again is 833-WIN-RETIRE. Start planning for your retirement now. 833-946-7384. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Yes, welcome back to the second half of Winning in Retirement. I'm Brian Akers, and here with me today is Alex Monk. We are both certified financial planner practitioners from Akers Financial Group. Today's show is this. 529 is a great day. It's a great way to save money for your college education, trade school, tech school, or even private school. What we're doing in today's show is taking that information. So happy May 29th, or better known as 529 Day. Today we're going to talk about what you need to do for yourself, your kids, and even your grandkids. Now here in the second half, we're going to begin this talk with this question, Alex. Did you know that you can shop around for a 529 plan that fits your family best? What do we mean by that?
See, that's a big deal, Brian, because, we live in Maryland, and T. Rowe Price runs our plan here, but there are plans for every single state. I think Virginia's plan is done by American Funds, which is also a fantastic mutual fund company. Their plan's called College America. The D.C., Washington, D.C. has their own separate plan, and they have different fund options than some other funds. So depending on what your goals are, what your risk tolerance is, where you think you're going to live, where you live now, why you're saving, all these different things, they need to be thought about before we open this plan. Because there's benefits to every single state, every plan, and you need to know if it fits for where you live.
Right. So let's do the tough talk first. And that is, let's use the Virginia plan as an example. It's American Funds. American Funds work through investment brokers. We are investment brokers, and there are commissions that are tied to 529 plans when the broker gets paid out of the Virginia plan. There is different type of share classes. And so you need to know that cost as compared to the Maryland 529 plan. There is a difference. Maryland 529, you get to deduct up to $2,500 per kid per person off your taxes, and the Virginia plan you do not. So this is a decision that you have to make based on how much you can save.
Absolutely. And for some clients, Brian, they're okay with going to troprice.com and opening the account themselves and picking the fund options. They're comfortable doing that. And some clients, they want us to do it for them because they're not comfortable doing it. And, if that's the case, it's not a good, bad, or indifferent thing. It's just whatever works for the client. However you feel comfortable, because when it comes down to it, it's your money and you need to feel comfortable.
Right. So we do like the Virginia plan as one of the plans for 529 plans because of the fact that you get to pick an actual investment. You get to invest the money. You get to pick a certain mutual fund, and you can buy and sell. Like we have portfolios at American Funds for 529 that had a tremendous last 12 months. And what we're doing for those kids that are entering college or junior year now is we're taking some of that winnings off the table and putting it into cash to help pay their next tuition payment. So we're trying to manage that 529 with the market being where it is at this time.
And there's rules too. So 529s, it's not like you can be in there day trading. That's not what these things are built for. But they do allow strategy changes throughout the year. They give you 2 per calendar year. So if you're going to try to time the market, or if you're playing with your investments, you need to know the rules of the plan so that you can adjust your allocation and not get stuck somewhere where you don't want to be.
All right, so one of the ways to find out more about 529 plans is a website called savingforcollege.com. Savingforcollege.com. On that website has information about every plan, has ratings on plans, it has some of the rules, it has the links to the website. We have done plans in California, Ohio, PA, DC, New Jersey, and Maryland. I'm trying to think of other
And I think
ones.
Alaska.
Yeah, that's true. The
Alaska plan.
Yes, we did. Yeah, I remember doing that. And the reason in some states you got to use their plan to get a deduction. In Pennsylvania lets you do a 529 anywhere and you get the deduction. So it depends where you're a resident of. It does not depend where the beneficiaries are resident of when it comes to college investment plan savings. 529 plans have a lot of great uses. They actually are allowed for private schools, but there's limits for that, right, Alex?
Yeah, so the limit is $10,000. That's per year. So as long as you're not at a crazy expensive school, you're okay. And then additional money can be gifted directly to the institution. So if you're ever worried about running into the gifting limit for one of your grandkids, that 15,000 number, and you've already hit let's say you've put 15,000 into the 529 plan, they're only able to get 10 out for the year, your kid's 7,000 short on their Gilman bill, you can pay the money right to the institution and avoid that gifting issue.
Right, you pay it straight to the institution, or I guess the other way is you'd have to file a gift tax return to be able to give more gifting. So there are some multiple gifting concepts of gifting. If there's a will, if there's a money, a dollar amount, there's probably a way to get it in the right spots if you want to. Now, the younger you start these, the more chance they have to grow. So let's go over like a private school strategy. All right, so tuition's due in July. Do you know that if you open up a 529 plan in Maryland and you go to the fixed options, go to the money market, you can put $5,000, $10,000 in there. If you put it for you and for your wife, let's give that example. You get $190 each off your Maryland taxes. So that is a $380, I believe. If you do something by May 31st each year, you get some state contribution on top. And before you know it, it's almost like $800 per person added to the 529 plan that you can then use for tuition for private school. Nice little strategy using the 529 plan.
Well, that sounds like free money, Brian. I love that.
We have talked about free money, free deductions, free money, but we think the 529 plan and strategies to help fund private schools to make it more affordable can be something that you need to check out. Now, you can find out more information about the Maryland plan on maryland529.com. We like savingforcollege.com as a website for just general information about all the plans out there. Now, if we have let's say we have a kid and the grandparent comes in and the kid's a sophomore already in high school, we have to watch how we invest that money because of the short time horizon, right, Alex?
Absolutely. And like you said earlier, T. Rowe Price has a great money market fund there. It does a little bit more than the banks. I think it's 1 almost. So for me, if it's money you're already spending on tuition, we might as well put it through the plan, save a couple $100 extra.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when we're talking about 529 plans and saving money when grandparents are the owner, there is an issue when it comes to use of grandparents' money when you are eligible for financial aid. So that's just another subject for you guys to think about. Imagine that you're applying for financial aid. Grandparent 529 money doesn't count in a financial aid package until you start to use it. If you start using it as a freshman year, they're going to count that the money you pulled out into as a child's contribution in a FAFSA form. So you got to be very careful. So generally, grandparent college money would be, if you're looking for financial aid, you would use that their senior year, or depending on how much money's there, you may be senior and junior. You sort of start at the end and bring it up so that you qualify for financial aid and you don't disqualify because you have this 529 by the grandparents. So that's a little trick.
Yeah, and I know that we've had examples with clients, and this is why we want to talk to the kids and the grandparents. We want to have everybody on the same page, because if you're not talking when it comes time for that kid to go to school, everybody needs to be working together, or else your FAFSA app's going to get rejected, and that whole FAFSA thing is not fun for anybody, so you got to talk.
A 529 by parents, where the parents own it, it actually has a less of a contribution of the family education contribution limit in the FAFSA calculation, less that you have to count. Money that's in the kid's name, like a kid's bank account, a UTMA, counts a lot higher towards what could be required to be used for college. This show's not about trying to figure all that out. It's about 529 plans. And at the moment, I'm just giving you a little talk about how we title these plans are very important. Let alone picking a plan, that's extremely important. And then investing that money is important. And then we have how we title it, who owns it. So this college savings is something that we all need to think about. We need to think about that future and about what's going on with our kids and grandkids and what do we want to do as a legacy.
Absolutely. And knowing that the kid has that money from an early age, and not to say that college is the right answer, because I believe working hard will get you what you want no matter what you do. But if you want your kid to go to college and they know about it, it really starts to condition them that college is what I'm supposed to do. And depending on your goals and your background, that may be something that's very, very important to you.
Absolutely. So when it comes to your financial planning, this show, our goal was to make sure everyone can listen to this show and say, okay, I got something out of it. So if you're a parent or a grandparent, we look at winning in retirement. The reason we think college funding is very important is that we see people, they come in for a meeting as they're 65, 67, and they say, I really got to get some things settled before I retire. Like, I'm still paying for college. I had to mortgage my house. I had to do all these other things, student loans, all this stuff, to make sure all my kids got college, and I paid for all of it. And then what happens is there's not enough money to retire. What we want is your retirement to be your retirement, to where you are in good shape, where you actually can relax and get your time back, where you don't really have all these other commitments, especially to past debts and past bills. So what we recommend is this. You can begin to win in retirement by giving us a call now at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave a message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule an in-person meeting or virtual, whichever is convenient for you. You'll meet with one of our team of advisors, and we'll start with where you are now, and we will work on your exact retirement plan. So give us a call at 833-946-7384 or visit AkersFinancialGroup.com. What if you're not sure if your child will even go to college? We'll talk about that in the fourth quarter.
The choice of your child's school is vitally important. Wouldn't you go a few more miles for something really special? I'm Brian Wilson, principal of Harford Christian School. Harford Christian is an independent school in northern Harford County, serving students in preschool through 12th grade. Our Uncommon Core makes all the difference. For nearly 50 years, we've partnered with parents in the important responsibility of training children in God's truth. Our biblical worldview stands in stark contrast against today's culture. At HCS, political correctness is never prioritized above God's unchanging truth. We hold the bar high as we prepare students to serve God's kingdom, not just the workplace of man. Affordable tuition and transportation options put the choice of Christian education within your reach.
Come visit the longest established Christian school in Harford County. You can become acquainted with us through a private tour or on the web at harfordchristian.org.
Akers Financial Group was founded on the principles of integrity, trust, and service. We believe each and every client is unique and deserves advice and implementations that apply directly towards their personal financial fingerprint. This financial fingerprint tells us the objective risk tolerance and purpose of the investment and insurance tools that we use to assist our clients in reaching their goals. By discovering the purpose of each financial decision, we can help you accomplish your goals. Intelligent financial design starts with a detailed balance sheet and cash flow to know where to start. This leads to a financial decision that will allow you to reach your goals with your risk tolerance in mind. Our relationships begin with an initial consultation and grows with each meeting. We would be thrilled to work with you and begin your planning process. Call us at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-946-7384. Or visit our website at akersfinancial.com. Member FINRA SIPC.
You're listening to a pre-recorded show. Welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Call 833-WIN-RETIRE now to schedule a visit with Brian and his team and begin winning in retirement. Once again, here's Brian Akers.
Hello, I'm Brian Akers, and welcome back to Winning in Retirement. Akers Financial Group brings this show to you each and every Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And today we have Alex Monk with us. We want you guys to go to our website at akersfinancialgroup.com. On that website, if it's on your phone, what you got to do is maybe hit that left tab and look. Now, radio at the moment is down toward the bottom, but go ahead and tap down there and hit radio. You can hear past shows. If you look up a little bit higher, you can see a webinar. Earlier in the show today, we talked about a 529 webinar that we just recently did, where you can go on there and get some information about 529 plans. The information we provide on our website is for you, the listener, for our clients. We're doing our best to educate throughout the times that we have. Recently, we started doing in-person talks, and we look forward to doing that throughout the year. And as on our radio show and even on our website, we're going to be posting information about events and expos that will be coming up this fall. Now, we're going back to this great talk we're having today, and it's about today, May 29th. May 29th is a great day because it is 529 Day, where we talk about college education savings or money that's needed for trade school, tech school, or even private school. And so what we recommend is this. Keep listening. This is the fourth quarter. Hopefully Alex is ready to go strong here. Are you good, Alex?
I leave it all on the court every time, Brian.
That's what I want with any players, is to really bring in the fourth quarter. Don't back down from the challenge. Let's march forward. All right, let's begin with this simple question. What if you're not sure if your child will even go to college? What do you do?
Oh man, that's a tough one, because people they're very nervous about that, and they say, "Oh, I don't want to start saving just for college." Well, these plans can be used for more than that. Trade school, tech school. And really, I was years ago now, but we had a client, Brian, that was like, look, my grandkid doesn't want to go to college. They want to buy a car, and I don't care. So let them cash their 529 plan in, but they're going to be the one paying the tax and the penalty, and they can buy their car. So it's never really a bad thing to have the money saved.
Absolutely. So the penalty is only on the growth. So if you put money in and it grows like a couple of $1,000, it's only on that growth, that couple of $1,000 of growth. It's not on the whole thing. Just make sure that when you're thinking about, if you don't get bogged down with the concept, well, they're not going to college, I shouldn't save at all. If you have a heart and a willingness to save for their future, let's save for their future. There's lots of things to do to try to build a legacy over time, and I think it's great to consider college as one of the options to help do it. You can also help them learn to be a saver, and that's a way of just setting aside money and maybe matching what they save, just being alongside as they learn about finance and grow in their education of finance, because we want our family to become savers, because that's a great habit to have throughout their life.
And I always tell people this when we're planning for education and stuff like that. I say, look, if you're going to be saving for each kid and one doesn't go, you can move that money into the other kids' plans without any penalty and still use it for education. And then however, whatever you want to do to take care of the other kids, everyone has a different opinion, right? Some people want their kids to have all 4 years paid for. Some people are like, here's $1,000, go do what you want. Some are like, I'll cover half. It's different for every single scenario. And sometimes it's tough because if we have the grandparents as clients and the kids, and they're both saving for college, sometimes I'm like, hey, you might want to talk to your parents before you do too much here and just get on the same page.
I've seen where there's actually let's call it an overabundance of love, where they care so much and they save so much for college, and then the investments grow and grow, and before they know it, there's more money than needed for college. And so I had this case happen with one of my clients, and so what happened was the kid was in a private high school, and so we said, talk with your daughter about pulling $10,000 a year towards helping with the private school. And so we did that, trying to use that 529 in a tax-free way. Now, if you're thinking about saving for college, and you go to maryland529.com and you see the two plans, you look under prepaid, you'll see that the prepaid is built for tuition. College is a lot more than just tuition nowadays. If you do go away to college, and you're going to need room and board, and we found that college tuition and room and board have become the same amount. So basically, if it costs $17,000, $20,000 to go, it's going to cost another $17,000, $20,000 to stay there.
Well,
what do you think of that?
I think the pandemic had them rethink what they were billing on, right? So they're going to try to get as much money as they can, and that's a whole different, the education system in our country is a whole different radio show. But the moral of the story is it's not getting cheaper.
No. It's not getting cheaper, but it's a great thing to do and to help. If there's money to be saved, we can do this. We've seen some people that are so worried about their family's future, they don't finish saving for their own future. So one of our warnings is make sure you don't become college education poor, meaning that you put all your money into that and you didn't save for your own future. That goes for parents as well as grandparents.
And don't think that you're too far behind the ball to save. I'll just figure it out when I get there. Because if you wait to do that, then your only option is debt. And I don't think they're forgiving debt anytime soon. So any little bit you have saved helps. It gets you in a good pattern. It builds good habits. And it really makes life a lot easier.
All right, so you said they're not going to forgive student debt. Is that what you just said?
Brian, I think we're going to have to pay all our debts. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to forgive $50,000. I think they're going to keep working on the $10,000. But do you know that in the 529 plan, you can actually take $10,000 out and pay on your student loan debt? Just another option a 529 provides you.
So if you're doing that and you're getting the state income tax deduction for $2,500 of it, and you're going to get maybe some matching contribution from the state for money you're already going to spend, no matter what, paying your loans.
Yep.
It seems like a no-brainer.
Is that Uncle Hogan paying for college, basically? Is that what you just said?
I don't know if we can use nicknames. I'm not always as flattering with my nicknames.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Now, if we put a lot of money up front in a 529 plan, that tax deduction, if you can't use it because you've reached your limit of kids and parents, does it carry forward?
Oh, I think it does. But is it for 5 years?
That's a good question. We'll have to ask the CPAs to make sure we get that right. But one of the things is when you save money for college, you get deductions. You got to make sure you click the button on the tax form. Make sure you tell your accountant that you saved the 529. Some people don't take that deduction. So one of the things that we do in the first meetings and meeting with a client is we talk about where they have their money saved, their goals in life, their family, all this is going on. Then we ask for 3 years of tax returns with the idea that we're going to look and see if what you've told us reflects in the tax return. We have found many times they just didn't take that Maryland deduction because they never told the accountant.
I might amend my taxes for a couple $100. I don't know about you.
I think a 502X is not a bad thing. Is 502X, is that the form?
Yeah, if you're an in-state resident. If you're a non-resident, it might be 505. but, who's counting?
You're dropping numbers on us. The 529 that we've been talking about all day is a date, May 29th, but it's also 529 as part of the IRS code. That's where this all gets set up. It's set up for the advantage of the money you put in will grow tax-free. That tax-free growth is used for qualified expenses. Qualified expenses would be college. It'd be the room and board, fees. What other kind of expenses would it cover, Alex?
The books are expensive, especially if your professor's the one writing it and they print a new one every year. And my favorite thing, Brian, is the private school. A lot of people here recently have had to make hard decisions on what do they want their kids' education to be like. And the more control you have, you usually have to pay a little bit more. So this gives you some ways and avenues to save and to do what you feel is right for your family, because that's really what we work for, right? We save money, and that's what it's for.
All right. Have you ever seen someone pull money out of a 529 for something that wasn't approved, like a non-qualified expense? Have you seen that, or have you prevented people from doing the wrong thing?
I have seen that.
Yeah.
I have.
Was that driving to college was the expense you couldn't take? Was that the one of them?
Yeah, well, the one was before they changed the rules on 529s, and the granddaughter wanted to go to beauty school, and that wasn't covered at the time.
Yeah, but it is now.
It is now.
But some people say they got to 529, they want to get mileage reimbursement, food reimbursement on the road trip to college, airplane tickets, things like that. Didn't quite qualify. All right, so a quick review of what we've covered today is this. Hey, it's a great day. It's May 29th, but it's also, there is a great way to save for college called 529. You need to find out about it. Now, Maryland has a plan called Maryland 529. You can go to the website, maryland529.com. You can also go to the website savingforcollege.com to get information about 529 plans all around the country. And, of course, you can go to akersfinancialgroup.com. At akersfinancialgroup.com, you can check out our webinar on 529 plans that we recently put up. Now, Akers Financial Group is built for you, the client. We design how you can be winning in your retirement years, which is a lifetime of winning on your financial planning, your financial terms, making sure you're reaching each and every goal that you might have. All right, so this show has been about the 529 plan. But you can give us a call about your retirement planning or anything else at 833-WIN-RETIRE. That's 833-WIN-RETIRE. When you call, leave us a voice message, and Susan will call you back on Monday to schedule a phone meeting, a virtual Zoom, or an in-person meeting with one of our team of advisors. Start planning for retirement now. That's 833-946-7384, or visit us at akersfinancialgroup.com. Thanks, Alex, for a good show, and thank you guys for listening. I'm Brian Akers from Akers Financial Group, and we want you to be winning in retirement.
You've been listening to Winning in Retirement with your host, Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated and investment advisory services through Kalos Management Incorporated. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services. Advice given on Winning in Retirement is general in nature, and one should seek further advice from their financial advisor, broker, attorney, or tax accountant before investing. Be sure to read each prospectus carefully to understand all the risks associated with each investment.
Losing someone special can be one of the hardest times of your life. Baltimore has relied on the Evans Funeral Chapel and cremation services to help them during some of the most important family moments. Let the Evans Funeral staff make your difficult times as easy as it can be for you and your family. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services, serving Baltimore families since 1865, a tradition of comfort and caring. Visit evansfuneralchapel.com for more information. That's evansfuneralchapel.com.
Knowledge is power. How much better would life be if you had the power to provide a financial umbrella for your family? Protect your estate? Retire without any lifestyle compromise? Obtaining this kind of knowledge is as easy as making a call to Akers Financial Group with a focus on helping you make decisions that reach far beyond the typical life stages. Akers Financial provides comprehensive, innovative, and personalized wealth management services. Call us at 410-692-9870 or visit our website at akersfinancial.com.
Member FINRA SIPC.
Long before 18-year-old Brooks Robinson was signed to play third base, and years before Natty Boh began brewing at the corner of Conkling and O'Donnell Streets, Baltimore families relied on the Evans family and the Evans Funeral Chapel and cremation services to help them during some of their most important family moments. Hi, I'm Charlie Evans, and for 4 generations, my family and I have been there for families, providing care and compassion in their time of need. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services provides the best facility, staff, and personalized service for your family. We have 3 convenient locations to serve the community: Parkville, Forest Hill, and Hereford. For more information, visit us online at evansfuneralchapel.com or call 410-665-9444. Evans Funeral Chapel and Cremation Services, serving Baltimore families since 1865. I invite your confidence.
Are you reacting or creating with your investments? When you have a sound financial plan, you don't have to be reacting every day. Let us help you create. Tune in to Winning in Retirement, Saturdays at 11 a.m. on 105.7 The Fan. Brian Akers of Akers Financial Group is a registered representative offering securities through Kalos Capital Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC, and investment advisory services offered through Kalos Management Incorporated, both located at 11525 Parkwood Circle, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30005 678 1100. Akers Financial Group is not an affiliate or subsidiary of Kalos Capital or Kalos Management and does not provide tax and legal services.
The preceding was a paid program, and the views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of WJZ-FM, Odyssey, its sponsors, or affiliates.
WJZ-FM, Kingsville, Baltimore. From the Thompson Creek Window Company studios, the one window replacement company that does it all. This is 105.7 The Fan.
He broke his clock. Got it! Oh, track ball! Gone!
Odyssey Sports Station.